Yeah, what's going on? Welcome to Melanated 101, the dark skinned black woman. My guest for tonight is Miss Ebony Shinelle. We are about to log on and we're going to get started. Ebony will be on in just a moment, child. Make sure she good. Give out a few moments to Charlotte. I really want y'all to chime in tonight. Tell me about some instances of, colorism that you might have experienced. Because it sucks. And for those who don't know what colorism is when you are pretty much discriminated against because of the shade of your skin, kind of like a darker skinned person being discriminated against because they're darker skinned as opposed to somebody who's light skinned. So we're going to get on here and we're going to talk about that. Okay, Ebony, welcome.
Hola.
What's going on? I'm not gonna keep you too long tonight because I know we're gonna talk, we're gonna chit chat, we're gonna get to it tonight. You guys, we are talking about the darker skinned black woman tackling issues of colorism. I'm sitting here talking with my good friend, as they would say, good Judy, Miss Ebony Shinelle. Ebony, for those of you that don't know, and you really should know her, is a brand manager, product manager, model, and actress. Get you a girl that can do it all because Ebony is a walking team by herself. And one of the issues that when I was thinking about stuff for 101 that I want to talk about with is none other than like colorism. And Ebony is somebody who has dealt with that, overcame it, and has become this really, really amazing person that I happen to love. So we're going to talk with her tonight about that. So we're going to jump into it. Ebony.
Yes.
You're a model. You're an actress. You're in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
How is it being a darker skinned black woman in the entertainment industry in 2021, in your opinion?
In my opinion, in 2021, and I'm just being honest from my perspective, it is amazing.
Amazing.
It is. I feel like my personal journey in the entertainment industry hasn't been determined by the color of my skin.
Okay.
It's been more based on my character.
Okay.
My talent, my willingness to get up and go, and also just knowing that I'm worth it. So this new opportunity that I'm on, I actually have to be in front of a camera all day. And I'm also, not only am I in front of a camera, but I'm in front of I want to say over like 50 sets of eyes.
Wow.
Who are looking at me.
Right.
And it takes
booked. Okay.
The very first day it was a little bit, a little nerve-wracking because I'm not used to that much attention. I'm not used to all of those eyes on me. But I keep telling everybody too, this is more of a personal journey for me as far as what I'm receiving from this personally. And just the compliments, we all have masks on and things like that. But there was one time that I was up in the light and one of the directors were like, Ebony always has good skin. Like just little things like that. I will honestly say that my personal journey in the entertainment industry has not been determined by the color of my skin. And actually it's been more celebrated. Along my journey, yes, it has been. In this current date and state, no, it hasn't been. It's been appreciated. I think the more I am myself, I don't try to be anything more. I don't try to be. I don't code switch at all.
But you shouldn't have to code switch though.
Right. But I know how to, but I don't, and I'm so appreciative of that because like I know that in my past I've had to, because of the color of my skin, I had to switch it up so that I would be accepted or check so that.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Because you're a darker skinned black woman, a lot of times they try to stereotype them and be like, she's going to be sassy, she's going to be loud, she's going to be popping her neck, giving her fingers, giving you real Keisha. No offense to anybody who's named Keisha. Has that been an experience where people expect that from you when they meet you until they're like,
So it's
what I should say
that up because it's something that I feel like we as Black women now need to have the conversation about,
Absolutely.
Because a part of that is true. We do have this sassy spiciness to us. And even the way that we talk as Black women, our dialect the cadence that we have. You know, when you get on the phone with a Black woman, you know you're speaking to a Black woman. For years, that has been something derogatory. They have, you know, tried to make us sound more quote unquote professional so that we make other people feel comfortable. Right. But I feel like, especially with the internet and social media, that as Black women, we now have a voice beyond. We've always had a voice because we raised families and things like that. But now we have a voice beyond the voice where you can feel us. And that's how Black women talk. You feel us. When we speak, you're going to feel it. And is that a type, or are we a culture? And I think that's a conversation for another day. Right. But we definitely have people that want to sound like us and mimic the way that we sound.
Absolutely.
I didn't say that it's something that we need to sound like them more about. But like I said, that's a conversation. We talking about skin, but we're going to get into that conversation.
Let me tell you. No, we need what you just said is absolutely true. My good friend, Kimberly Latrice Jones, y'all check her out. She's a Black Lives Matter activist that went viral last year. She said that Black girls are the creators of cool. And I believe that. Black women really are the creators of cool. Nothing is popping or locking until a Black girl says, oh, that's hot.
Exactly. And I'll run it down. In the strip clubs, music don't get hot unless a girl shaking her ass to it.
Right. Right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And so then when it comes to, historically, when you go back to thinking about it, and this is what I talk about, we as African Americans live in a culture where they love Black culture, especially African American culture, but they don't love Black people, especially not African American people. Even in the whole African diaspora, it's different parts, different types of African people. Look at us and be like, oh, y'all got it made, and y'all never done anything with it. Like, no.
But don't, you know what? Honestly, I kind of feel this way a little bit about it. I feel like we're a guilty pleasure. They don't like us. I just feel like, you know, when you may know somebody like this who, because they can't have it, they don't like it.
So she said they love us so much to the point where they hate us. I can see that.
Right. And so it comes from a place of, I can't never be that. So let me try to stop that in any kind of way, financially, mentally, physically, emotionally. Let them fight against each other, light skin, dark skin. Let's, you know, mix it up a little bit, because I can't stand them so much. I don't want them to advance in no way, shape, or form. Right. So, for example, people like you, people like me, we're a problem, because you know why? You can't really get me on any level. You can't say I'm because I don't believe it. You can't say I'm nothing, because I would have to subscribe to it in order
for a box for you to put me in.
Exactly.
I'm not a problem for you, because they feel like things need boxes, because once you put me in a box, you put a line on what you say I can and can't do, and you have no right to say that. My power is too great for you to contain. Get into that.
Exactly. Get into it. But back to the skin. Let's talk about our black girl, black boy magic. But
let me tell you, no, the thing about black girl magic to me, like, so for most people know it, I was raised by my paternal grandmother, and she was a darker skinned woman, and she was life to me, y'all. She still is. I miss her every single day. She passed in 2008. And one thing she would always say is, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and this is 100% sugar, baby. And that comes from my father. He's dark skinned. My great grandmother's dark skinned. And for them, they live in a point in time in history where people were kind of like, oh, I don't want to be with no dark-skinned girl. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. It was viewed as like you're a pickaninny. You nappy-headed. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. And then you flash forward to now where it's so celebrated, where you're a melanated queen, this and this and that. And I always tell people, I hate that we have to point that out about dark-skinned people, because I've been in situations where I have people, friends who are darker skinned, and it was like they don't like that. They said they appreciated people like they melanin, appreciate they got good skin, quote unquote, but it's just skin. And I'm human just like you. It's not that serious. I don't need you to point it out to empower me. But at the same time, I think because we went so many centuries, let's just say centuries, without it being celebrated, where if you're darker skinned, you were looked at as less than, you were outside working in the heat. Yeah. You got the worst of the worst. You got the scraps and stuff like that. And then we keep it real. The lighter skinned individuals, they lived in the house because they were related to the person who owned the house.
And that's that mental thing that they put on us. That was
to separate. Yeah.
Happening mentally, we didn't know what was happening, or they didn't know what was happening in them trying to tear apart the black family and the black structure, because on our own we could have made light-skinned children on our own, given the free.
Say that.
We could have made our own light-skinned children, and we even showed them that we have interracial kids, Black people. We have interracial families. We don't turn them away. We are one of the least races that will turn away any other race that makes children with Black people. Like
right.
Chinese Trinidadian cousins. I have white nieces, and half white, half Black nieces and nephews. I have, like, we're all mixed up in my family.
That's just that sense of family that we have. Yeah. Like our culture, and especially with the way they set everything up. If you got one drop of Black blood in you, you one of us.
Yeah.
Us with this, like, come on. Automatically in group. One drop rule.
We like bring it on. We accept everybody, and we love them like they're like, the skin doesn't matter. And I think that that's something also that's very intimidating to the other people, is that we can love still at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that's also gotta suck. Like, how these people can go through all of this shit and they accepting this and they accepting that, and they still love at the end of the day, because that's just what we do. Like,
that's because we're the most resilient people on the face of the planet, and nobody can ever take that away from us. How was it for you though, growing up as a darker skinned Black girl? Were there ever points in times where people made you feel less than because of your skin tone?
Yes, and not even
right.
My name is Ebony, so that was not an easy ride either, especially when the little boys and little girls in junior high school, well, maybe not junior high, like more like elementary school, when they realized what Ebony meant. Oh man, Black girl this, Black girl that, Black blah 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 blah. Your name means wood. They used to make fun of me all the time, and I used to wear extensions when I was younger because my mom didn't want to deal with all this thick hair, so she would braid it up, and so that would get teased for that. Oh, you got weave in your hair. Now I turn around and I'm like, you know.
Now it's popping. They were trying to figure out where you get your hair braided at. It's just such a paradigm shift, and I really equate that to everything that's happened with Black Lives Matters, with people just finally embracing and saying, you know what, I'm tired of not being able to be myself. I look at actresses like Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer, and I'm just like, wow. These are women that are finally, you know, getting the recognition they need, and it comes all the way back from other darker skinned actresses like Hattie McDaniel. If you guys think about it, she's actually the first Black person to win an Oscar, and she won it for a television series for supporting actress called Beulah way back in the 1930s. But it was so racist back then that she had to accept her award in a back room and not on stage with the other Academy-winning actors and actresses. And, and this is where we come from. So this is why it's so disheartening for me when I hear comments like, oh, she's really pretty for a dark-skinned girl. And then we fast forward and we look at American culture. Even though we have this great love of ourselves, of darker-skinned people, darker-skinned women, viewing them as sexy and desirable and valuable, we still have American society and Western society pushing where it's you light-skinned. You got to be light. You got to be exotic-looking. If you are Black, you got to be Black and something else. And then they actually still make products that actually lighten your skin. It's targeted towards Black people.
It is, but you know,
it's used to lighten your skin.
No, you're right. You're right. It's definitely out there. But I think, because this is what I do. This is why I don't bleach and why I still don't, you know, get my hair all waved, glued up and things like that every day. It's because, yeah, it's out there, but it's about how do I feel though.
Right.
If there's a dark mark on my skin and I want to clear up that dark mark thing, yes, but I can't get rid of my whole entire skin. Like, that's my body.
Right, that's you.
So I don't subscribe to those things. Like, even growing up, when I used to get perms, you couldn't tell me that perm wasn't what I was supposed to do. But when you get smarter and you're educated, you understand the things that are not good for you. And not only did I find out that it wasn't good for me, is that I don't need it. My hair is longer and thicker than it ever was when I was perm.
I actually get texturizers.
Time and taking care of it, and you get the results that you want to get. And so, yeah, these things are targeted at them, but it's a business. If you understand that it's a business and you know that they're just trying to make $1, then why even, you know, subscribe to these things? You know that that's just a company, just like McDonald's, just like, you know what I'm saying? We need to stop giving things so much power, especially as dark-skinned people, as brown people. We need to stop giving so much power to things that don't require our attention. Just because it's out there, just because some celebrity has it on and they got paid to wear it or whatever, doesn't mean that you need to do it. You fine in your own place.
Right. His Royal HRM Crown Prince Maurice. Oh, hey, Maurice. He says, true, bleaching products are widely used across Africa. Yes.
They are. They're still used. They are.
Huge. Like, I actually saw a picture today where I was doing a little research. A woman in Nigeria, like, she was, like, super light-skinned. I was just like, oh, how she's this light in the sun? And they were showing that she uses these bleaching products. And, like, you'll see the women walking around with, like, this red powder on thetheir face. And you'll ask, like, what is this they're wearing? It's bleach.
Yeah.
It's bleach.
There's a cream. I used this cream when I was younger because I had, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I didn't get here over the years. I'm 36, not ashamed to say how old I am. I'm 36 years old. So I have years of healing and growing and becoming this woman that I am today. So, yes, it was back in the days when there was one time as a little girl where I poured powder all over myself and was crying just like I wish I was white because white kids don't get beat. Yes. I did that. I used to put this like lotion, this Topiclear to lighten up my legs because I thought my legs was too dark to be out. I used to stay in the house until the sun went down in the summer so I didn't get darker. Baby, I be out in the sunlight.
Absorbing and getting all that vitamin D. Chardonnay pointed out a book. Oh, that's a really good book to point out, The Bluest Eye. And they actually talk about that inside of there. And for me, like just some of the research that I did, where they say, and I want to get your opinion on this. They say a lot of darker skinned Black women feel that lighter skinned Black women have it easier than them and that they don't have the full Black experience because of their skin tone. Do you agree with that?
I agree that there are some women that feel that way. I don't agree with that logic because I feel like, one, everyone is beautiful. And two, the opportunities, what's for me is for me. Whether I'm dark-skinned, whether I'm light-skinned, whether I'm tall or whether I'm short. And that also kind of plays into me modeling. I'm not your typical size model. I'm short. I'm a tiny person. But, you know, I don't let that stop me from throwing on some heels and strutting my stuff. I've gotten several compliments on my walk where when I was a young people used to tease me on my walk. I used to get teased so much on my walk because I used to walk so stiff because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't want to be myself. I hated my name. I hated my hair. I hated my skin tone. I hated it all. So where I'm at today and how I'm, you know, in the mirror and I'm so like loving my body and loving myself, that's because I did not love myself at one point in time. So, and that's something for everybody too. When you see a woman just happy, you never know what it took for her to get to that point. Just allow her to fly. Like, just don't say shit to me. Let me fly. Okay.
It's like the TikTok videos. They say, if you see me happy, just let me be.
Leave me alone. Leave me.
I heard this. I'm like, yeah, like absolutely. If you see me happy, just let me be. Like, don't. I'm almost like Angelina Jolie when she's playing Maleficent. Don't ruin my morning. Like, leave me alone. I don't want no bad news. I'm okay. We're good over here.
Yes. I don't need nobody interfering with my joy. And it's also a good thing for other people as well because honestly, women who are not happy with themselves need attention. They need this. They need that. And that puts a strain on a relationship when someone needs something. I don't need anybody to make me happy. I'm happy. I came happy. You come happy, then we don't need to keep making each other happy. We don't need to go above and beyond to ensure that that person is happy. Because happiness is not feeling safe, secure, you know, loved. That's separate. Being happy now, that starts with you. Like, that starts with me. I have to be happy with myself, in love with myself, be by myself, in my space, by myself, understand what makes me work. Like, all of these things before I decide to share that with someone else. So I want someone to do that too, so that we can be on the same page. I feel like Black women have this, we have this underlining thing that we have to take care of people and take care of things and take care of everybody. I'm not going to take care of nobody.
That's unfortunate because we do Black women a great disservice. They always say the Black woman is the mule of the world, and I say that's bullshit. We got to stop that. Just because you're a Black woman doesn't mean that you don't get tired. It doesn't mean that you always have to be the strong one. It doesn't mean that you always have to be the person to take care of everybody else. Who takes care of the glue? And so my thing is, it's okay to say I'm not dealing with that. That's not my problem. I'm not going to do it. Let's normalize allowing Black women to be free of other people's problems that they didn't help create, they didn't help do, they didn't help produce, and they should not have to help solve.
Correct. And I feel like
because we're related to each other, or you happen to be in my life. If you love me, free me.
Yes.
Free me. And I feel like when we see some of these stories, you see something on TV, when you're the darker skinned Black woman, they do picture you as the glue of the family. You are the person that's dealing with everybody's issues. They depict her as somebody, even in today's shows, you see that, where she hasn't accomplished much because the family and stuff is holding her back. And so you're asking yourself this question is, are you trying to say that because I'm a darker skinned Black woman, I need to give up all my dreams, all my rights, all my hopes for a family who's still underappreciating me, where I'm the butt of their jokes, I'm the brunt of their fury, but I'm their source of nourishment, enlightenment, and spiritual security? It's not fair.
Right.
It's not okay.
You're right. And
uncheck the box that you have dark-skinned Black women in, because they really can't do it all.
And I hope that I can be that inspiration for another dark-skinned Black woman, because again, like, it seems like my whole entire life is just the opposite of what I'm supposed to be. I'm no mother, so I don't have any kids, no children to look after, so I'm free to just be me. But at the same time,
but however, comma,
not having a responsibility is a responsibility on itself. Okay.
Because you to thy own self be true. You have to have some self-discipline.
Exactly. And I want other women to not feel that pressure of, okay, I'm turning 30, I need to have a baby, I need to, I need to be here, I need to be there, I need to be there because all my friends are doing this or all my peers are doing that. Well, I'm always the opposite or indifferent. I'm divorced. I've divorced twice, and I'm chasing my dream. I want that divorced woman or that woman who gave up her dreams from raising her kids to get back to it, to know that life doesn't just stop because a relationship ended or because a job ended or because you got married or because you had kids or because you got sick or because, you know what I'm saying? Like, life for people does not end. The stuff that I've been through in my life, in my journey, will attest to that. Like, people who see me where I am now and doing the things that I'm doing now, it's because every time something tried to knock me down, I got back up.
I love it.
Let my skin color determine whether or not I was going to get back up. It was determined on my joy, my happiness, me being proud of me. Because at the end of the day, I can't do nothing about this skin. So y'all focus on it if you want to, because I can't. I got to keep it moving. I got to make this money. But yeah, I think being a woman in the industry that I was in or that I am in is more difficult than being a Black woman. I'd say that.
Interesting. Because just a decade ago, Black women would have said that. Because obviously they would say, I know being a Black woman is different because the white girls and the lighter skinned girls or the exotic girls, they got it way easier. But you saying right now, it's womanhood, period.
Womanhood.
That's the paradigm. Maybe that has something to do with me too.
It's possible. It's possible. I feel like we as Black women, we do speak a lot for women as a whole, right? Because if white women would have, then we would have a lot more rights, right? So we tend to speak overall for a lot of women. We're vocal. We're very passionate about what it is that we say and what we want, right? I think that ultimately it kind of is up to us though, but to see it for ourselves, we have to stop putting it outside of us. Yes, we are Black, but we're also women, and we're women first. If we're looking at a man,
before you know what your race was, you know what your gender was. You knew you
right. You're Black or white, and you look at a man. You're a woman looking at a man. So let's start there, right? That is harder as in this industry, being a woman, we get pushed down to the bottom, and then Black women is under that. So
no way. It's interesting you say that. I looked at a pie chart the other day, and they were showing in the industry like how many, but they broke down directors and producers and stuff like that. So you come to the industry, the pie chart is like 100%, right? Do you know 98% of the directors and producers are like Caucasian white males, right? Then of that 2% that breaks down, only something less than 0.98% of directors now are like Black women. And I was like, oh my God, this is a place and a space that we need to be at. This is where they need to run, because there's so many Black stories that need to be told from a Black female's perspective. And I'm thinking about you acting and in production management. And I'm like, the stories that are in your head that we need to be getting out there. Like we need to do that. I want y'all to understand something. One of the biggest hits of last year was Lovecraft Country. That was written and directed by a Black woman. Candyman had one of the biggest openings this year, written and directed by a Black woman. And now she's got all this different stuff coming out. Issa Rae, screenwriting, directing. She's had a reality. Like, it's a place and a space there. And we really need to support that. I know everybody wants to say, we got to let the brothers get themselves together because it's not going to be right for the women to the men get it together. Fuck that. If you have a wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, if you're just a general human being, you want to see somebody win because you want to see somebody win, not because of what their sex organs are.
Right, exactly. But there's a lot of men who don't want to see a woman in power. But I also I can't just say that, because I've also have been blessed to know men who are not afraid to put a woman in power, that will prefer that a woman would lead or run things as far as like business wise, because they know what she brings to the table as far as being a woman, using what it is that she has. Like the sensual, that gets business done as well. It doesn't have to be, she a hoe, but business gets done with a sexy, beautiful woman as well, so.
Yeah, I do. From my ex-girlfriend, bringing us, the meetings and stuff. You remember Miss Bella? You're right.
Right. So yeah. It works, but it has to be bad. Like I'm not a anti-man or anti-Black man, Black woman. I'm not that at all, by far. I am a Black woman that's fed up with being so like, oh, we need to love our Black men. All right, y'all love on yourselves. We've been tooting that horn for years, and y'all still don't see it, nor do you feel it. And so let us Black women love on ourselves a little bit and see where that goes. And thus far, the Black women in my circle, my Black women tribe, every Black woman that I meet, no matter what color or hue she is, no matter what size she is, we're able to vibe. We're able to empower one another by whether it's what it is that we do, or we help that other woman with something it is that she needs help getting done. Because for years we've done it and we've been in silence, and we've done it for our partners, our significant others, our brothers, our uncles, our grandfathers, our fathers. We've helped them.
Yeah.
Without the recognition, without the support, without the, you know what, you help me, let me help you now type thing. No, you will help, and then they would be gone. And then you have a Black woman left with kids, left with bills, left with everything after she done tried to help a Black man out and get to where it is that he, at the end of nothing.
What, they act brand new?
Right. And so after you finally open your mouth as a Black woman and you talk to other Black women or women in general, and you find out that this is happening amongst all of you, you're like, well, bitch, I could do that for you. And I don't even have to feel like
right. I can do this. We can help each other. We don't have to compete for resources.
We ain't got to be sitting on the plate.
There's a place and a space for all of us. Let's just marinate on that. I personally believe, I love seeing when women coalesce and team up and take on an issue. In any story you ever see, in any situation there is, when women come together and work together, it's nothing they can't do. It's nothing they can't do. It's something about their energy. I always tell my sisters, but just from my own personal experience, I always say, next to God, women are the most powerful things in the universe. I said a woman is not going to give up, if she a queen, she's not going to give up her country, her power, and all that for a man. But a man, at the drop of a dime, will give up the universe for a single woman. And that's just like, I feel like that's our Achilles heel. So I always feel like women are fit to rule. If you think about it, if you look at it, they rule in the household. Daddy might be the head, but mama is the neck. And the head and the neck goes like this, the head goes like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. So know your power. Influence and affluence.
We as Black women, and I speak for all of us, we want to see Black men powerful. We want to. But like I said, you get frustrated continuing saying the same thing to somebody over and over and over again, and they still don't see it. They still don't see the joy. They still don't see the Black women that we see in them. So it's more like, now it's more so, well, we're going to show you what it looks like. Because we're tired of telling you. And not only are we tired of telling you, but we're really, really tired of getting the short end of the stick.
Right.
But I can speak for any woman that has ever felt that way. We're sick and tired of just getting the shorter end of the stick. We don't regret anything that we do for a man or Black man at all. Because we learn. We learn a lot from y'all.
That's right. Watching, yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
I'm giving them teens. Who's on here? Who's watching?
I completely understand that. But you know what? Just in this conversation, I can tell your evolution. I can see your growth. How you went from a timid, shy, insecure little girl who was concerned about her skin tone and staying out in the sun and her name and people worrying about who she is. So this amazingly beautiful, powerful, talented, creative woman who has this innate sense of self that is completely unshakable at this point. So shout out to you. Like, your healing journey is beautiful.
Thank you.
You glowed up. It was like a new you know, and that's really dope. You know, Ebony, where can everybody follow you on social media?
Follow me at DOP_CHOLO. Wait. Chocolate. And the number 8.
Right.
It's on here somewhere. Wait, I'm going to say something. Just go ahead and check that. Make sure it's right. There you go. There you go. But please follow me on my personal page, because this is me. You will get me when I'm working. You'll see it. When I'm doing something else, you'll see it. I am me, and I don't want anybody to be misconstrued with anything. This is Ebony Shinelle. That's what you're gonna get. You might see me with some twist. You might see me with a fro, but it's all just me.
But it's all her. Oh. I love that, Ebony. I love that, and I love you. Thank you so much for talking with me tonight.
I love you too, Sunshine. I'll talk to you later.
Yes. Thank you. Peace.
Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, man. Y'all, that was another amazing episode of 101. Tonight's episode was Melanated 101, the dark-skinned Black woman. But make sure y'all understand something. Here on 101 with Michael Jonvier, we are always tackling social issues and topics. And next week, I will actually be speaking on 2 more different situations. I have Freshie coming up next week, y'all, and she's going to talk about Entertainment 101, studs in media. So she's a masculine presenting lesbian woman, and she'll be in on Monday. On Tuesday, I have Mr. Chris Deloach. He talks about being an older model in the fashion industry and how that works for him. And I want y'all to stay tuned. If you have some topics or something you feel like I should talk about or tackle on my show, please feel free to DM me or talk to me about them. I love y'all for supporting me. This is a way for me to show the more beautiful aspects of myself, and of course to be vulnerable with you, because that's what it's about when you're human, being vulnerable. I love y'all. Have a good night. Help somebody. Be safe. Peace.